everyone! Welcome back to Charmed Heart with a Vengeance! We're back with a vengeance!
Charmed, I'm sure.
I don't know about you, Phelan, but to me, it smells like white privilege in here.
It just reeks of it. Smells like Tartarus and white privilege.
Holy shit.
Kill Whitey!
Today, we watch Season 1, Episode 10, Keep Calm and Harry On. Which I think is the most stretch of a title. Harry is stuck in hell jail. They gotta get him out. What did you think, Phelan?
It is a daring prison break, just like when Bobby was stuck in hell jail in Supernatural.
I think this was a little better than hell jail, but it was still kind of bad.
Better. Yeah, it was still, like, a little easy.
Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as bad as just he's, like, the third door on the left in hell like Bobby was, but it's still
It was coincidence, like, quite the coincidence that Maggie ended up right next to him, though, huh?
Mm-hmm, yeah, that, I thought was, like, ridiculous. Like, they show Tartarus, like, it's a giant area with all these, little tunnel, like, tower jails in the ground or whatever, and yeah, they throw Maggie in there right beside Harry. They can, like, even yell to each other and hear each other. You're just like, what?
They spent 7 minutes of the episode, at least, just recapping what happened in the previous episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they did a recap, and then they went to the episode proper, but nothing was really happening outside of them just reiterating what happened. It was so tedious.
And Galvatron said something different in the recap, right? He's like, OMG.
He said, oh my god, instead of what the hell, but it's possible he also said, oh my god, and then what the hell. I'd have to look at the episode again, and that's not happening, so I guess we'll never really know. I thought, foolishly perhaps, that after this season break, they would be able to, like, recoup, come together, and, like, have a better formed idea for what they wanted to do with the show so it wouldn't feel so rushed and changing all the time. But this was, I think, the worst one yet as far as, like, just throwing everything at you at once. So much happened.
Yeah, they just feels like they just keep jumping things constantly. Like, they're talking at the beginning and then Maggie's just like, oh yeah, I looked it up on Facebook and here's a picture of Parker with his parents and his mother's the head of the lab. So she's like, oh, that's how she finds that out?
She just Googled it and they kept their old wedding photo on Facebook? Or what?
Yeah.
Why did they have that up? How long have they been divorced?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Alistair just kept his old Facebook account open. He hasn't used it in years, so it's just horribly outdated.
Yeah.
But Nico's friends with him. But I think the best revelation about the Alistair Dr. Mom divorce is that part of the settlement was that there was no mesmerizing.
Uh-huh.
They had, like, a demonic settlement, did they?
Apparently, that was quite funny. He's in breach. He's gonna have to go to demon court.
Harry is stuck in hell jail. Helcatraz, as they call it. Which I think would just be hell, right? Like, it's not like this is any different. It's not like you'd be free in hell, so...
Yeah.
This just seems like you don't need these two things together. It's redundant.
Mm.
The Dragon Eye, which according to the subtitles, that's what it's called. I don't know if it's just a dragon that tortures them in Tartarus or what.
It's kind of like the Anaconda poster kept coming over to talk to them.
With just as good CGI.
Mm-hmm.
He is torturing Harry and giving him all of his old memories that was wiped from his mind when he became a White Lighter. And it turns out he was not a particularly good person. Or so he thinks.
A lot of white privilege.
the black man keeping him down.
He's their white man.
It was a black guy that was being mean to him in the jail, right? And he told him to shove off or no, clear off. That was his bad boy talk. Clear off.
Clear off. Oh.
He called him a pretty boy. The guy did.
Kill Whitey!
It turns out that he is a small-time robber, and he's doing all of this to save his dying son. And in Tartarus, they plant false memories there that his son died. And as we learn in the end, he didn't really die, so it was not in vain. That was his qualities that led to him becoming a white lighter.
Right.
I liked this aspect of it. Like, I liked that he has a bit of a checkered past, but all for, the right reasons.
Yeah, his story in this mess of an episode is alright. And there's parts of this which are kind of good, I guess, for this show. But, I mean, it was a jumbled mess.
Some of the character stuff was pretty good. It didn't have enough time.
No, not really.
In the parts that were decent. It wasn't a complete mess, but it was disorganized and a bit disingenuous at parts, I would say.
Mm-hmm. And a bunch of things felt so rushed. It's so weird how they just keep doing that. It's I thought this was going to go longer, but nope, they just find that out now, and then we're going to this, and oh, fuck, we're already here.
Yeah, they moved so quickly. The elders continue to be dicks.
Yeah.
They say they're not going to go after him because they're like, not for a white lighter. We're not going to go to this trouble.
Yeah, just what?
Check your white lighter privilege. They even say, remind me again why the elders are the good guys.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad they at least said that, because, yeah, it's what?
I like this bad guy elder angle, though. I do. It's more interesting, and it points out the absolute idiocy of just the elders as a concept with, the stupid, strict rules over nothing, just archaic. Charity even says at one point, "Are you out of your charmed minds?"
Yeah.
They had at least 3 charmed puns in this.
Yeah, really?
They were really throwing them in there. Maggie's story continues with Parker.
Oh, this was one of the dumbest plots of many in this episode, was her magic drug use.
Yeah. She uses her magic no-feeling spell, the Nickelodeon slime, that she puts on her arm so that she won't feel anything.
And then magics up a patch over it. Then she doubles it up. She doesn't even take the old patch off. She puts some new slime over the patch and then double patches. I'm just what does that make it better? How's that work? It's not even touching your skin. But all right, I guess maybe it seeps through her other patch.
Maggie, you can't do that on television.
And even Charity later's oh yeah, that's super addictive, habit forming, and has side effects. Just
Was I the only one who was reminded of, on Buffy, they had a storyline like this with Willow?
Right.
Where she's misusing magic and she's addicted. It was the whole storyline that it was a parallel to drug addiction. And she even has a spell to not remember bad feelings. It was a memory type thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, the whole addictive angle reminded me of that.
Yeah, but it was less silly than just feeling Willow's up there smoking some pot.
Well, I mean, when they did that in Buffy, it was part of a built-up storyline that you felt connected to. Here, I feel no connection with the Parker storyline because we've had no time to feel any connection to it.
The problem with the Maggie drug thing too is just it's so blatant, it's just hitting you over the head. We know immediately this is drug use. It's not hiding it. It's just we're mad. We're she's doing drugs, but there's some magic on it. That's all it is.
If they were going to be smart about this, first of all, there's no good portrayal of the addiction angle of this. We know it is drugs because that is how they're framing it, but there's not enough time in it to feel the addiction of it, like the progression from like just like this is just going to help for a little bit to like this is really a problem. And if they were being smart with this, they have Parker kind of go in and out for no reason. And if they wanted to play up this addiction angle, they could have her like using this drug or magic or whatever. And Parker realizes what's happening and parallels this to his like drug that he uses to like help himself out or whatever with like the whole like she thought he was a junkie thing. Like he would have some experience with this and maybe that would be some sort of parallel there and have us feel something more for Parker.
Yeah, they could have done something like that if they were thinking ahead, not just like, let's shove this little Maggie drug plot into this one episode and resolve it within the same episode.
Just think about this. Like, I know we've had like a month break since the last episode of Charmed, but if you're just watching these back to back, within the span of 2 episodes, she finds out that he's a demon. They break up, and then she gets all weepy about it, and then gets over it by the end.
Oh, yeah, and just her stupid crying at the beginning where it's like she's clearly just getting attention on herself.
I don't think it was as bad as Phoebe, but like...
But she's like, oh, Harry. It's just like, you don't care about Harry right now.
She's like, we find her in bed crying surrounded by like magazines and tissues in perfect makeup. Her eyes aren't even red. Like they don't even like make her look bedraggled enough to have been crying for a week like she claims. It comes off so insincere. And like I don't want to drag on the actress because I think like in other scenes she's been fine, but in this one like it was particularly bad. Like I didn't buy the trauma of any of it.
No, that's why it came off more too like it was false. Like she was just doing it to get sympathy from people.
I think all of us were like Mel in that scene. Like she exits by just like disgustedly throwing a tissue at her. Ugh, I gotta get out of here.
She uses her slimed drug, which is supposed to make her not feel, and then like she sees Parker and starts yelling at him. So it's like, guess that doesn't work, and that's when she doubles it up. And then she just acts like she's stoned, super, like, mellow stoned. Like, whoa, what's going on, man?
I love that after Parker, the last time that they saw him, he accidentally got their white lighter sent to Tartarus. They found out he was a demon. All this shit went down. And then he just shows up at the college like, hey, Maggie, what's up? You got the notes? All right, I can see this is a bad time. Well, I'll see you in class. Like, you just go to class after that? What do you do?
Yeah, really weird.
It seemed like they didn't know what to do with him at all until like the end when they had him be part of the plot.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, it was still a stretch, wasn't it?
Yeah, seems like they don't know where they're going with a lot of things.
They showed up at his like dorm, and they're like, it smells like stale beer and white privilege in here.
Yeah, you know, show. It's like you throw these things around, and then like. It doesn't mean anything.
Of all of the problems with Parker, and there are many, white privilege, I think, would be at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, I'm just starting to think they hate white people.
Kill Whitey!
That's a great line from Galvin at one point where he's like, oh, so you have your little white boy?
He's your white person.
He's your white person, like referring to Harry. Macy is talking about getting him out of hell jail, and oh yeah, you white person.
He's trying to wrap his head around all this. It's like, so he's your white person?
And she goes, no, light whiter.
The light whiter. He's a light whiter supremacist. It's completely different. This is like the redemption of Galvin, okay? I gotta say, I'm really loving Galvin now.
Yeah, this was pretty good. It's like Galvin's woke now.
He's woke now. He knows about white privilege. Yo, that is wild.
It's like Maggie took all his, like, stoned out of him. She absorbed it all, and then she got stoned.
He broke his leg and gained a personality.
It's like where they don't know where they're going with everyone, though. It's like, all right, Galvin's this really mellow guy, and they're like, no, now that he knows, he's going to be like, whoa, I'm involved. I do all these things now.
This is 4 lines. I'm going to quote exactly from Galvin in this. Yo, that is wild. Damn. Woo! And, oh, man.
Oh, man.
He threw an oh, man out there.
He said, oh, man.
Oh, he pulled a Daryl. You know, when you pull a Daryl, I'm going to be on your team. I can't be not Team Daryl.
Yeah, this was another thing, though. It just felt like we're already here with him. It's like, it's good in a way.
He was so accepting.
Yeah, like he's just, oh yeah, I'm on board with this. Let's go sneak into our boss's office and steal information.
I love when they break into there. All of a sudden, this like Shaft music starts playing, like this blaxploitation music, like something really cool's going on. Like, what is happening there? When did Galvin become Mr. Personality?
Yeah.
I kind of love it. They've been farting around with him forever, so, like, thank God that they finally started doing something, because he was a breath of fresh air.
It's just like they could have been building to this with him instead of, like, going in these weird directions, like he gets another girlfriend and it doesn't go anywhere. It's like, if you'd built to this more naturally, it would have been a bit better, but yeah, I am glad we're here with him, too, because it's a better place than just being, oh, yeah.
Well, it was just stagnant. It wasn't like progressing anywhere, and then all of a sudden it jumped to this, and it would have been nicer if there was a real progression. But
And
I'm
then
glad
they'll
that
have to
they're
wipe
doing
his
something.
memory.
They'll pull a Nico. They gotta like wipe him out, change history. He does have, they point this out in the episode too, it's actually pretty funny. He has more of a reaction to finding out that Macy is a virgin than finding out she's a witch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're all flirting with each other and she's like, all right, well, I gotta tell you something. I'm a virgin.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Galvin gotta go.
So, because no one else seems to, like, be giving a shit about Harry being missing, Mel goes to the Sarkana because they know a guy who could get them into Tartarus and get him out. So, they go to him, and he's got, like, an old TV that has a channel that could show them hell.
Yeah. How much do you think he pays for the Tartarus channel?
Do you think that's like pay-per-view or?
Yeah.
They're starting a Tartarus streaming service, but it's really just breaking up everything.
I love when he throws Maggie in there too, like he immediately switches over to the her channel.
He's got a channel for every person.
I know. Like that must take forever.
That shot of her being thrown into hell was hilarious.
Everything about that guy was kind of funny. He's just like, yeah, I got like this portal to hell and I'm pretty chill about it.
Yeah, I dug that guy. He had like this like drill bit hand, like his fingers would form into a drill bit so he could like open the thing or whatever.
Yeah. He's just like, yeah, I'll let them out. Just bring me a harbinger. That's what it costs.
They bring the empty paint can from Charity because Charity leaves that behind to help them out because they guilt her about it. They show her white guilt.
Yeah, elder privilege.
And so she leaves the paint can behind, and they all think that the Harbinger's still in there. So they're finally concluding the storyline where the paint cans were switched.
Yeah.
Maggie, no feelings. Can't get any feelings off of him after he's pissed, and she gets chucked into hell. Ends up right next to Harry. He's been in there for a week at least, and I don't know if there's any sort of like time differences between like Tartarus and the real world. I don't know, but even a week is a long time. to be there being tortured with your memories.
Yeah.
And Maggie is in there for 2 seconds and immediately is breaking down way worse than him.
Yeah. She's like, I'll tell you anything you want to know. I'll give you all my sister's secrets.
Take him instead, please! Not my Prada bag! Not my shoes! You're muddying up my velvet leopard print pants!
Here's the secret plans to the Charm Star!
She could not handle that clip show. The more clips they were showing from the earlier episodes in the season, the worse it got for her. He's sitting there like, let love be your strength. Love was your true power all along. Shut up.
Care Bears, stare them.
That was the worst. I'm like, look, Harry shouldn't have to be comforting her in this situation.
Yeah, no.
He's been in hell for a while. Like, Maggie, you're useless. He feels so bad, like he's like trying to distract and like help her. So he's like telling the dragon eye thing. Like he's like, no, give me the memories instead. Torture me. I dare you. I double dog dare you.
Now it was serious. A double dog dare.
You can shove it.
Clear off. Double dog dare, you son of a bitch. You're just prejudiced because I'm a dragon.
Smells like dragon privilege.
You know, maybe the Illuminati is right. There's just lizard people everywhere. That was just Maggie glitching is what it was.
Yeah. Weird footage. Charmed person just standing there. Why is she doing nothing?
Charmed one's cloned Brent Spiner.
She's just replaying Shaq Fu in her head.
So they go to Charity about this empty paint bucket because they're like, shit, now that Maggie's in there, we really got to do something. She's just gonna fold like a piece of paper. She's gonna tell them everything. She's a huge liability. So Charity, they go to her and she like just now remembers the whole mesmerizing thing. Like it took 2 seconds. She's like, oh yeah, I guess he did get me to switch that paint can.
That's why this also came off like another rushed thing. Like that's how like nothing had to trigger it besides them going, hey, that Harbinger kind of wasn't in the painty can.
And there was no payoff to that, though. They took the paint can back and then, like, chucked it into Tartarus, and that's it. And you would think, like, Alistair having it would have had any sort of significance, but it had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, it just felt like that was building up to some bigger payoff than just, hey, this was nothing. We have to go get the real one now. Okay, we got it.
Nothing has any satisfying payoff in this show. Like there's yet to be anything that like has the proper time devoted to it to like really be invested.
Mm-hmm. And then like it also felt like they rushed their meeting with Alistair because he finds out they stole his paint can and he comes in like, yo, where's my paint can? Well, charmed ones, we meet for the first time, for the last time.
Parker is my wife's son's second cousin roommate twice removed.
What's that make us?
Absolutely nothing, which is what you are about to become.
He shows up because, okay, they go to Parker and get him to check his white privilege, so he helps them out. And they get the paint can just by, like, taking 2 seconds to go grab it.
Oh, and while they're in there, Mel's like, oh, look, a jar of hellfire, yoink!
Oh, right, yeah, she did take the hellfire. And Alistair shows up, and all of a sudden, he's Mr. Personality. He's like charmed, I'm sure, and he's got like all these wisecracks, and he's like jokey jokester, like he all of a sudden like sassy. Mm-hmm. This is not anything I ever got off of this character.
No, he's just kind of angry in his office every other episode. Yeah, no, it's like, oh no, they woke him up too.
I'm going to betray the charmed one.
You never would have expected me to turn on you. Well, no, you were the bad guy. We did kind of expect that. Oh, well, you know what? Flame on!
Yeah, well, you know what? Harry's in hell 'cause of you. Yeah, of course, because of me.
You know what? I've been doing slimed patches. I learned it from you, Maggie. I learned it from watching you.
This is your brain. This is your brain on slime patches.
I don't feel anything. Any questions?
Macy hits him with a pencil or something. Like she hits him in the head with it and impales him.
Yeah, it was like a little X-Acto knife or something like this. Some kind of little knife.
Okay. He rips down his face and peels it off. And man, they should have just not bothered. They should have kept his face on, because that was bad.
Yeah, that was not great.
Like, the original Charmed had some failings in the effects department, but, like, generally they would use, like, prosthetics for their demons, and it looked a million times better than CGIing someone for no reason.
Yeah, like maybe just put some effects around the actor's head if you want to, like, have some flames come out, like the hole in his head or something like that.
Like they could have done like that effect, like lava rock when it's all black and there's some sort of like the orange coming through the cracks, and maybe like enhance those with a like flame effect. They could even like, you know, paint it green and then put it over it or something. It wouldn't be a very hard effect to do.
Just like have the blood run down his face, really, like have some flames come out and have his eyes go red or something like that. That probably would have been more imposing. Something like that.
It didn't feel very visceral for someone ripping their face off. And I know the CW, like, and their audience, like, well, even then, like, Supernatural's on the CW, and they've had way gorier things on there. Mm-hmm. And I know you're not expecting it in Charmed, but, like, it's so bloodless. Mm-hmm. Even, like, the stuff in Hell, like, it's very clean. It's just a lot of scorpions and veins and stuff.
Yeah, that's all that was happened to, like, Harry and Maggie when they got back. Their veins were really dark.
Yeah, because the memory scorpions, that it appears that's the extent of what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then it's like, oh no, Harry has to tell Maggie again, go Care Bear stare him. So she goes and forms a power of 3 let it be spell, and then they stare Alistair. What? You guys can't do that. Bye.
We're not afraid of you. No.
Yeah.
How long did that fight last? It was not very long.
No.
For someone who is their main big bad, like, that was kind of pathetic. Like, it was more of a thing with Hunter than with him.
It felt like a really weird spot to be having this battle, too, and this, like, what was his shop? Was it, like, an old TV shop or, like, a repair shop or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Like, it just felt weird, and then there's, you know, that big guy who looks more imposing than Alistair, but he's just kind of hanging out there, standing around as this goes on. I know they froze him at one point, but I don't know if he's frozen the entire time, because usually they can't hold it that long.
Alistair just looks too put together. He doesn't look like he would get messy. Like, he's like, this is an expensive jacket, I'm not gonna...
Yeah, it seems really quick for them to have fought him at all.
And defeated him. Like, he's never had any wins with them. The first time they fight, and they kick his ass. Like, that's not very... It doesn't make me feel like there's any real threat from the villain.
Yeah, like, maybe if we'd done this and, like, he almost kills them, and then, like, they break out that orb thing which repels him, and then he's surprised by it, so he decides to, you know, regroup and think about what they just did, because he doesn't know what that power was. Like, you could do the same thing almost, but just make it feel a lot more dangerous, and, like, they just, you know, held on by the skin of their teeth getting out of that.
I mean, he just sort of, like, wusses off. They throw the paint can into Hell, and then they just sit there chatting for a while.
Yeah,
well, like,
Harry's
Harry is,
dying.
like, dying. It's like, can you, like, take him to the hospital or something before you have your chat? And they don't. They just take him home and make him tea.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing. Like, well, does he need anything? Like,
I mean, I know he's a white lighter, and I guess they said he's technically dead, but he can die, because we see that he's injured.
Yeah. I mean, Maggie's got it too. Not as bad, but, like, do they need anything special? Like, Charity doesn't come by with any, like, elder medicine either. She just brings the tea, so it's just like, are they just gonna, like, piss out this scorpion poison?
I don't think it was supposed to be poison. I think it was just supposed to be the memories, but I don't know.
But their veins are all black. That can't be good.
That's true. The next episode, they'll be at their funerals. Like, yeah, we really should have done something about that. But they said, no, don't heal us. It reminds us of our mother. Can Charity heal them or another white lighter? I don't know if the, like, self-heal thing doesn't work with white lighters in this version of it, but, like, can he heal Maggie or?
Well, it worked before in our original Charmed until they said it was a thing, and then he couldn't.
He couldn't, and then he could, depending on whoever was writing it, I guess.
But yeah, you think, can we get another white lighter in here maybe? No.
No, the white lighters are the scum of the earth. They really are their white people.
Ugh, we're not gonna help, not gonna go to the effort for a stupid white lighter. Ugh. We're a bunch of faceless goons who sit around in an alternate dimension version of the Charmed One's living room.
Cool.
Pretty cool, right? It's what you always want to see. Oh, look, the Elderverse. It's so boring. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess I was mesmerized. We kind of suck. I'm new here.
Charity, you idiot!
This did lead to, I think, one of the stronger scenes. I think the strongest stuff in this episode was finding out about Harry's life. And I did like the Galvin and Macy stuff as well. But Harry and Charity have a scene where she goes to see him and bring him some of his, I don't know, healing tea. They didn't even say it's specialty. It's just tea.
No, they just said it's his favorite tea.
It's his favorite tea made with salt.
Yeah.
So she goes to see him, and they have an emotional scene where she tells him that it was a false memory that his son died. Like, his son is still alive now, and she looked at his memories because she had to know what was going on in Tartarus with him, even though it was breaking the rules, because she cared enough about him to do that. And I thought that was a very good scene. But then it's immediately, like, cut to Cardboard Parker. I'm like, shit. He goes up to Maggie like, did you get the notes? I know you've been busy, but Dad was mad at me, so I couldn't go to class. I was sick with the DNA demon resequencing or whatever. I took a sick day for me. I feel like I need some self-care.
I thought it was kind of silly, too, that we established that Alistair got his ex-wife her job at the lab. It's like, oh, why? Why is she, like, working with him, yet she hates him, and they have, like, rules in their divorce settlement with the demon judge?
I don't know why he feels he needs her. I feel like with her, she wants to see her children, and that's why she's putting up with this abusive situation so that she won't have her children taken away from her, I think. Even though, I mean, I guess Hunter's in hell now.
Yeah. Well, he's not hers, because he's not half
that's right.
human.
So it's just Parker, so she wants to see Parker.
Right.
So who cares? It's not a real son.
But, like, I don't know why she needs to get a job because of him and stuff, too. Like, she seemed like she couldn't stand him, so it just seemed dumb that they're like, oh, yeah, they were, like, working together, except they're not, because they don't like each other.
Yeah,
so
but I think the thing is he's forced her into this because she knows how to do this DNA sequencing or whatever, and
why
he
is
needs
that
her.
not part of the divorce settlement. Like, he's not allowed to mesmerize her, but he's allowed to force her to work for him.
Look, I mean, any sort of scrutiny, I don't really believe this demonic divorce settlement, really. What did she take, like, half his stuff? Did she get, like, half of his little corner of hell? Or, like, who is the lawyers in this case? Who is the judge that's determining who gets what? Who's gonna, like, what demonic judge is gonna go against, like, the Dark Master or whatever? Like, sorry, you signed this prenup here, your wife gets all of this, but you can't mesmerize her.
Look, she had, like, you know, a shark lawyer, and like, oh, that's clever.
Yeah, see, Buffy wasn't always smart. Or they did that lone shark.
Yeah.
That was literally a shark.
Uh-huh.
So, the episode somehow is still not over at that point. I thought it was wrapping up, but we have a bajillion episode ending scenes that just keep one after the other.
The show keeps doing that. Like, it feels like the main story's over and you're wrapping up, and then it keeps going.
Yeah, there's just a lot. Mel is meeting Jada in a bar to say basically, like, screw the rules.
Yeah, look at this. I got you a giant jar of hellfire. Oh, you shouldn't have. That's so sweet.
But wait, I thought that old lady threw it into the ocean at the end. Well, baby, I went down and got it for you. Aw, like, you shouldn't have.
She's like, oh, let's make out. I love you way more than my old stupid girlfriend. Dun, dun, dun.
Smash cut to the new old Daryl.
Oh, man, I'm back.
Nico's back. Nico's back, and she's watching, presumably to look in on this witch terrorist organization. Presumably
Probably.
She still has no memories of what happened in the previous history.
Yeah.
The whole thing with Jada and the Hellfire, too, Mel got it for her because of the witch I'm totally spacing on the name of, the one they got out of Tartarus, and it's something to help her or something?
Yeah, they're saying they're going to use her something against the elders. I don't remember
something will do something.
Yeah.
I'm sure whenever that plot comes around, we'll get it more.
Yeah, that'll be more important in the next episode when they resolve it.
In 2 seconds, lordy.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see Nico again, though. I thought for sure she was just gone, so I'm glad they're doing something with her.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious, I guess, where that's gonna go. It could be interesting, or it could just be stupid.
That's very true. I noticed, too, did you notice that, like, Jada seemed to be dressed like a normal human being now?
Yeah, a little less outlandish.
She looked less like she had jumped out of an episode of Stargate.
Yeah, but she's still like, hey, I'm cool.
Yeah, definitely.
And Mel's like, oh, you are so cool. I just love the way that you're cool about everything. She's like, yeah, I know. I am cool. Give me some hellfire.
Until she becomes someone who develops more of a personality outside of just this organization, I don't think I'm going to be feeling her, because it just seems like that is just her entire character right now, and it's not really giving me anything.
Leather jacket and cool.
Yeah, pretty much. But the biggest twist came at the very end when Galvin shows up, Mr. Cool himself, and he's like, "Hey, Macy, sorry about that. I was just processing everything, but you didn't answer my texts." And she's like, "Yeah, I was getting Harry out of hell jail. Sorry about that."
That's cool.
Honestly, that was cute. I like them together. I'm gonna be a Galvin Macy shipper, I think. Do you think, like, it would be inappropriate to call them Gacy?
No.
Malvin? Nothing really has a good mouthfeel here. It's not a very good portmanteau either way.
Use the Malvin. Ah!
He shows up with some of the information that they stole from the office, and they come up with the final twist.
Galvin is their father.
Dun, dun, dun. Well, good thing they didn't sleep together. Boom.
Turns out Macy and Maggie are the real sisters, and Mel is the no-good half-sister.
Dun, dun, dun.
So they're cutting her out of the family.
They just kick her out.
It was cool when I was the half-sister, but now it's you, Mel, and we're really not as attached to you, so slowly close the door.
It's fine, I'll go live with the Sarkana.
They're
My
cool.
girlfriend will let me move in.
I gave her a bunch of hellfire. She loves me. Do you have any more hellfire? No? I'm too cool to hang out with you then, so just gonna slowly close the door.
Check your white privilege, Jada.
What?
You can't just say that to everyone who slights you. She's not white.
You're just racist.
Says it to that dragon. Check your white privilege, dragon.
You don't know what race I am. You stupid. I can't even with this. You charmed ones are idiots. Get them out of here. Chucks her out. So I kind of like this twist that they've switched it around, that the half sister is actually Mel. Mm-hmm. But I don't know where this comes from. I feel like saying that this was a clever twist on their part, they thought this up, like this would be a clever twist, is maybe giving them too much credit. Do you think this came from the fact that people were upset about the casting as far as like the race of the actresses and them portraying Hispanic characters?
Possibly. Could have.
Because the actress who plays Maggie, what's her name? Sarah Jeffrey. She actually is half black. And so I don't know if they were deciding like if they made them like have the same father that would rectify the situation a little bit.
I don't think you needed to. I mean, maybe they just thought it'd be something to reference that. I don't know.
I don't know if that was something like in mind. And maybe it worked out like they're like, but if we did this actually would be an interesting change. Mm-hmm. But it also kind of like messes with the whole like Macy has some sort of darkness in her,
right,
related to her father, because then that would mean it also applies to Maggie, or it's not anything. Yeah. Or she was cursed or something, you know, like they'll have to,
or she's just special.
She's just special. Yeah, I don't know. Like, why was she so worried about Macy?
Yeah, I wonder if they are going to just completely drop that plot line or just come up with some weird reason it was a thing and get rid of it really quick like this show does. Oh, yeah, she had this darkness, which is just this, and we resolved it.
What?
It's just like that Galvatron girlfriend. You blink and then that plot's out of there.
But at least it had a line to explain it. I don't know how you explain away this one.
No, I mean...
Unless they're like, maybe they figured out how to get rid of demon DNA, and that's what happened with Maggie. They got rid of her demon DNA.
And then Parker would be like, oh, I'm quite interested in how this works. Get out of here, Parker!
He's a Parker incognito.
Yeah.
What? Hey, you can get rid of demon DNA. Tell me more. Can I partake?
Yeah. It's just got a fake mustache on and that's it. Nothing different.
Parker, we know it's you.
What?
But, this would be good if this happened to me, right? No. Screw you.
That man looks exactly like me. That demon has a fluffy tail.
Here, Puff.
That's all the notes that I have. I don't have a fashion segment because I wasn't feeling any. Well, okay, I'll have a short fashion segment. Okay, because I was feeling the leopard print pants, especially because she was in hell while she was wearing them, so that was pretty good. And the fact that they seem to have put Harry in their college sweatpants Like, it seemed to have, like, the college name on it, and I'm like, did he own those, or is he borrowing one of their sweatpants while he's recovering?
Alistair pulled a big fashion don't with his CG head.
Faux pas.
Yeah, never go out of the house wearing that.
Not after Labor Day. So, what are your overall thoughts of this episode?
Mixed, I suppose. I'd say it's sadly one of the better episodes so far, even though it's kind of a mess. I like Galvin woke up, and I like the stuff with Harry and that they're going in this direction, that the elders are just, like, we're acknowledging what dicks they are and kind of playing against them, maybe. See how that goes. But yeah, it's so rushed. The show needs to figure out where it's going with some of these plots instead of just, like, constantly, like, and we're jumping to this, and this, we resolved it, and stupid thing, Maggie's got a drug addiction, and she solved it, and she's already remorseful and cured, like, all in one episode. Like, what?
I think that the seeds that they've planted are going in some good directions. But again, they just need to slow down. Just slow it down. And we can get behind these stories. We want to see them genuinely, but, like, give them the time. Otherwise, it's just wasting everyone's time. Mm-hmm. And you run out of ideas very quick if you're going to go at this rate. We're only 10 episodes in.
Yeah, it feels like we're in season 3 or something.
Yeah, it feels like we've gone through several seasons, and it shouldn't feel like that because you're going to get burnout really quick. Mm-hmm. So, overall, I liked the stuff with Harry and Charity, and the stuff with Galvin and Macy. Yeah, Harity and Malvin. I feel like those are stories that are getting stronger, and they're building on something. They just need to work out whatever they're doing with the other stuff.
Right.
All right, so I think that's it for Charmed Hard with a Vengeance. Thanks, everyone, for listening. If you want to give us a subscribe or like, that'd be great.
And check your charmed privilege.
Let everyone know about Charmed Hard with a Vengeance. That'd be great. If you could maybe use the hashtag Charmed Hard with a Vengeance. That'd be really cool. And we'll be seeing you Charmanders next time on hashtag Charmed Hard with a Vengeance.